if you guys haven't already, make sure that you put us in your pocket. Like, subscribe to this podcast. Do that. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, like go to YouTube even and subscribe there. Subscribe and just subscribe, just do it. And then like later, if you can't watch us now, like if you can't get up this early, which we're 15 minutes later than we usually are, which, you're welcome. Right. But if you can't do that, you can put us in your pocket for later, and you can listen to us when you're on the treadmill or in your car or doing all the things that you guys do during the day.
And tell all your friends. C Noons, thank you so much. She says, thanks to my COTR family for needed prayers today. Hubby's second operation for infected knee replacement. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, speaking of surgery.
You guys, I'm so moon-faced. Wait, that's what you were going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about me having surgery. We'll wait and talk about that later. But your face, I think, looks fine. I think you look great.
It's like a lot of swelling right here.
The only thing that really sucks is that Mock is a smiler. And so
it's my favorite.
It's
and I can't smile as big, which is weird. And it's like, I have so much gummular gum. It's weird. But I will say, for those people who are, thinking about having to do it, like worried that you're going to have to do it, it's not that bad. So it's swelling. Yes, it's swollen. But I will tell you that pain-wise, I don't have any pain. Like it's a little tender, and that's the worst of it. And so if you're a person that has this in your future, a gum graft, because you have recession like I did, it's fine. Now I'm not even like scared about doing the right side whenever I end up doing that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for everybody, the well wishes. And the Morans sent me beautiful flowers. The Morans from Oregon. Oh my gosh. I mean, thank you so much, everybody. I know that's what helped. I feel
the
really good
flowers
about
and
that.
the love and the prayers. Yeah. I mean, it works, you guys. It totally works. Mm-hmm.
So it's not bad. It's not bad. And I didn't even have to take the good stuff. I have hydrocodone. I didn't even touch it, you guys. I didn't even take as much Tylenol and Advil as I was supposed to take. So I really am, maybe that's why I'm swollen, but I really am fine. So
I know it's remarkable. I was expecting bruising and all that kind of stuff, and she looks amazing. Yeah.
I look normal.
So, I know, right?
Thank you, Brian. Darling, you look marvelous. Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Appreciate that very, very much. You guys, it's going to be a big, fat, full show today, just like my face. It's going to be a big, fat, full show. Wanted to mention, for those of you who enjoy Twitter Spaces, RFK Jr. is going to be doing a space with Elon Musk today at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that might be something that you want to tune into because he's starting to get a lot of exposure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see clips from that. I won't watch the whole thing, but it'll be interesting to see the clips afterwards. And Jack Dorsey is endorsing him.
Jack Dorsey has endorsed him. And don't forget, you won't see any clips. You'll only hear clips because there's no visual.
That's right. But
which
I mean, like,
bummer, but
Jack Dorsey, I think, is giving his campaign money and he's endorsing him, which I think is really interesting, right? Everybody thinks he's like this nobody. He's not going to do anything. And the Democrat Party is trying to squelch him. I think that's a bad idea. I think it's really stupid. People should be watching out for him. He's the dark horse. That's my
They're not going to be able to ignore him this whole time. Like they just can't, know.
Nope.
Luke, thank you so much. Luke says, good morning, beautiful God-given ladies. Chicks, praying for you to heal quickly, Mock. You look great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Also, this week is going to be the official entrance into 3 other GOP candidates. So, and we've talked about a couple of them before. We've talked about the fact that Pence is going to get in officially. We've talked about Chris Christie getting in officially. And now some dude named Doug also going to get in officially.
Who has to look him up? Raise your hand. Like, I was like, seriously, we do this for a living. And I'm like, wait, the governor of North Dakota? Like, you think that the South Dakota governor would be the one that would getting her hat in the race. But I'm like, oh, I didn't even know the North Dakota governor was on our side. I know nothing about this guy. Like, I've never heard of him. He's not done anything that I've heard of that's been newsworthy, at least in the past. And out of nowhere, he's like, I'm running for president, you guys.
And if this is the radar, he's way down here. He is like under the radar. I mean, way under it, you guys. Because I was like, Doug, who? But and then I thought, well, maybe I haven't heard of him because he was a former governor of North Dakota. No, he's governor right now. Right freaking now.
He's the governor right this second. And
So-
I never heard of him. Yeah.
Mike said, who knew North Dakota even had a governor?
They're just running around governless out there. Yeah. Seriously though, what's his whole name? What's his whole name again?
Burgum. Doug
Burgum.
Burgum.
Yeah, Doug Burgum is running for president, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he has a chance. He thinks.
Well, I heard, I read a little something about him that said that he was big into business shutdowns and masks and pushing vaccines.
To do it on the yay side of that. Like he did that.
Yeah. So
these people are insufferable. Like, what are you doing? And you're gonna
right.
So that's your record, and then you're gonna run for president? What are you doing? Are these? He's high, right?
I mean, there has to be, that could be an explanation. I don't know, but it's not. That's just not going to happen. It is not going to happen. But I will tell you something that did happen, and that is that yesterday we released another show with our good friend Zach Abraham from Bulwark Capital. And so he is always so informative. I hope you guys are paying attention to our every other Sunday show with Zach, because we're talking about all things that are related to the markets and the economy and things that directly impact all of us, right? And so you should absolutely be checking out our show with Zach every other Sunday. The latest one came out yesterday. And you should also know that Zach has his own show. So if you're interested in kind of keeping up to date with what's happening in the markets and how you might be managing your own financial portfolio, he's got his own show that you can check out at knowyourriskradio.com. You can either visit that website or you can call to get a free copy of his Common Sense, CENTS. See what he did there?
I totally see what he did there. Yeah.
Common Sense Investing Guide. You can call 866-779-RISK. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered trademark advisor. So you should check out our show, and you should check out Zach and all of his information, because it's good stuff. You should absolutely check that out. Okay, let's get to some news. So there's, even though the whole weekend went by, there's still lots and lots of chatter about the big tumble that President Biden took on the stage at the Air Force Academy. Was that on Thursday?
I think it was Thursday.
I think that's right. And then I didn't even realize that shortly after that, when he was getting off of his helicopter on the White House lawn, he conked his head on the way, like just getting out of it. I mean, he handled it well, like as well as he could have, right? Like you almost could barely tell it happened, but it happened. And then right after that, there were reporters screaming at him, asking him if he was okay from his earlier fall. And so I have a little bit of that video of him addressing the reporters. Here we go. Did you see him conk it? Did I do it again?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. You want to do it one more time?
Okay.
Conk.
And then it's just that shuffle, It's like that.
It's like he can't really walk very well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, my head hurts. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because people are filming me right now, but my head. Look at his face. Get off my lawn. Everybody get off my lawn.
So they're going to ask how he's doing.
What? Huh? Oh my God.
I got sandbagged.
Oh my God.
Look I can skip still.
It's just so bad. It's so bad, you guys. Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. And
they're providing so much cover for him, though. I mean, it's all over Twitter. Like, you're an ageist if you think that it was terrible. If you're making fun of the president for falling, screw you.
Right?
I'm not an ageist. I am so sick of that. It's like, it's remarkable the difference between the treatment of him and Trump. We all see it. Everybody sees it.
Everybody sees it. And Ari Fleischer was on with Harris Faulkner pointing that very thing out. And also, Harris is like, the White House is simply lying to us about his condition. And enough is enough. Like we all have eyes. We can see for ourselves what's going on. Here's a little bit of their chat.
Now, Ari, there is no sugar coating this. That was more than a bad look.
Yeah, and it came right after a speech in which he couldn't even remember for the Air Force Academy what you call people who fly Air Force planes. They're called pilots. And he couldn't remember that word during his remarks. Look, the problem is this isn't going to be his last trip and fall. Now, he didn't faint, he tripped. But every time one of these things happens to an 80-year-old, it raises questions about his health. And I was watching it last night with my 19-year-old daughter, and she cringed when she saw it. You know, this is a problem he's got, not only with older voters who understand age and fragility, but especially with younger voters who just look at Joe Biden and say, he's not fit.
I refuse to do anything other than call this a lie by the White House. I mean, we are being lied to now. We're being asked to defy what we see because he told us to watch him. That's how he said, judge what he does, watch him. We're asked to defy what we see and listen to them completely tell us that everything is okay.
But you know, Harris, he still has the mainstream media in his corner.
Right.
I pulled up the coverage
true.
from when the New York Times covered Donald Trump when he slowly walked down a ramp at West Point. Here was the story in the New York Times. Trump's halting walk down ramp raises new health questions. And the story was full of allegations that Donald Trump isn't healthy enough at 74 to be the president because he walked slowly down a ramp.
Unbelievable.
Here's the New York Times coverage of Biden actually falling. Biden falls on stage at Air Force commencement. A White House official said President Biden was totally fine. What's the New York Times do when Biden falls? They just go right for White House spin. What do they do when Donald Trump doesn't fall? They say it raises questions about Trump's health. And
Yes.
Yep. So right. And so what else are they lying about? What else are they spinning? What else are they trying to cram down your throats that isn't true and trying to manipulate when it comes to the facts? This is what they do. This is it's a propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. That's what the media is. And I think more and more people are starting to go, okay, this is weird. We all can see with our eyes what's going on, but you're trying to tell us a different story and I'm not buying it. And a lot of those people, to his point, are young people.
Yeah. I mean, especially young people are going to see such a contrast between themselves, between like a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old.
Right.
I mean, this is, yeah. And then we have James Clyburn, who I didn't realize is actually 2 years older than Biden. And you know it's bad when the spin becomes, well, it's not about the fall, it's how quickly he got up from it. That's this new spin. Check this out.
I've been saying all the time that age will have an impact, but whether or not it's determinative, I think will determine be dependent upon whether or not he responds going forward and the way he responds. Look, I'm more than 2 years older than the president, and I do just fine. I don't want to have a fall, but if I do, I hope I get up as good as he did.
I hope I get up as good as he did.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how they're spinning it now. And can you imagine if it were Trump that fell, if it were Trump that was in this position, what would Clyburn say about that?
Oh yeah, he'd be like 25th Amendment. Oh my God,
Right.
it's
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
exploding.
they're all full of crap. It's just crazy.
It is ridiculous. And so that they're just going to keep making excuses for him. And this is just a bonus. This doesn't particularly relate to Biden's age, but I liked that somebody put together this clip of Joe Biden addressing the oncoming, or I guess the incoming inflation that we were about to face or starting to face back in the summer of 2021, and compare it to what he said this past February. It's pretty startling difference.
And by the way, talking inflation, the overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great, Am I taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man.
Oh my
Remember what the
God.
economy was like when I got here?
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. The economy was just fine. Like a lot of us are like, okay, well, if people are actually like warning us and saying stuff like, do you want Trump back in office, or do you want like the way things were before Biden got? Yeah, I want things to be the way.
Oh my
they were
gosh.
before he got into office.
Pre-COVID?
Like, that would be
Hell
freaking
yes.
awesome. Yeah, things were great. God,
Yeah.
It's like we're not blind.
But that apparently we are. Apparently that's how we're being treated. Is that we're just absolutely.
Well, people
blind.
are going to grow tired of that. People get sick of being, patronized and patted on the head. They're there. You don't really know what you saw. Let me tell you what you saw. People get tired of that. Americans.
I mean, you would think, but are they? I don't know. I mean, because people are so dumb. People are so dumb is the problem.
Well, that is true.
Because I've had all this, stuff going on with my gums and like a lot of stuff going on, I have not even bothered to remind everybody that it is my birthday month.
It is, you guys.
It is my birthday.
It's her birthday. Today is my husband's birthday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well then I can't take away from his birthday.
He doesn't care. It's just buy him a gun and he's happy. You know what I mean? You are different. You require like fuss. She requires.
I do like some fuss. So I don't even know what Eve it is of my birthday yet, but it is my birthday month. And I'm hoping that at least by around the 25th, I can start to eat a little bit like stuff that's not totally smooth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my biggest hope, is that maybe I can enjoy a nice meal. But I know if you are a person that is searching for the perfect gift for a birthday or for some other occasion for the woman in your life, or perhaps the man, you never know, because Cozy Earth has stuff for both. And if you love luxury, if you're looking for something high end, you want to do a little bit of self-care, if you want to like treat yourself, Cozy Earth loungewear is the way to do it, you guys. You can save up to 35% off of Cozy Earth loungewear right now. I'm going to show you the banner. It's cozyearth.com/chicks. This is the loungewear that goes easily from bed to just lounge, right? Like if and I had this the whole weekend, right? Where I was like, I am not showering. I am not getting out off the couch. I am not doing anything that requires any sort of physical exertion. That was yesterday. I did absolutely nothing. I was in loungewear absolutely all day long. And there's nothing better than to be in loungewear that's like temperature regulating, that bamboo viscose, delicious fabric that feels so smooth and awesome against your skin. There's nothing like it. Once you try it, you're going to be absolutely hooked. And you can save up to 35% right now on any of their Cozy Earth loungewear using code CHICKS at cozyearth.com/chicks. I know you guys are going to love it. I know you. I know you, and I know you want to treat.
It's a good discount too. It's good. Mm-hmm.
All right. We need to talk a little bit about DeSantis. He's had himself quite a few days. There's been a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, I shall say, because there is I don't remember who it is. There's a congressperson who was a diehard Trump in the tank for Trump, all the way Trump, until the Kayleigh McEnany hullabaloo. And then as a result of the Kayleigh McEnany attack by Trump, this person decided to switch allegiance and is now endorsing now endorsing DeSantis. And another switch has been made that's rather high profile. Now, again, we're people that don't give a shit who endorses who. I don't care who somebody else is endorsing. It doesn't affect me in any way, but it always makes news. And so the first person that you're going to hear from is a new to endorse DeSantis. And I'm just curious how she will be treated by some of the Trump diehards now that she has sort of switched her allegiance. I'll let you hear who that is right now.
That being said, I'm so excited to announce that I am officially endorsing Governor DeSantis as president. His leadership has been crucial in rooting out the radical ideology that's really driving this insanity, and really bringing visibility to these cultural issues that affect the breakdown of families, the breakdown of faith, the breakdown of freedoms. He's really taken on this political establishment, the woke corporations, the media, and he's won. And we know this based off his success in Florida alone.
Riley, so many people associate you with Donald Trump, and when I heard that you were going to support Governor DeSantis, we're like, wow, that's interesting. Let's get her on TV, and we appreciate you breaking this news here with us. The question is, are you prepared for it's a pretty treacherous social media landscape out there. Let's call it a battlefield, and the meme wars are heating up. Are you ready for what's coming your way soon, probably?
I don't think I've been ready for anything I've done this past year. To be totally honest, I feel entirely unequipped for the position that I was thrusted into. This is never something that I could have asked for myself. That being said, I see the threat, again, that this country is under, and I see the importance of taking a stance in this. I know how this will affect the next generation if someone doesn't, especially someone who's as young as myself, and again, just the importance behind it. So while I might not be entirely ready, I am ready. I have the leadership, I have the understanding, I have the unwavering morals to know what I'm doing by endorsing Governor DeSantis is the right thing. It's the right thing for me. It's the right thing for women. It's the right thing for Americans.
Today, New Hampshire.
A lot of people are asking who it is. Riley's the one who swam against Leah Thomas, and Leah Thomas is the transgender who basically took her spot that she should have had. And since then, she's been fighting for women and girls' rights, is what she's been doing. This makes complete sense to me because of everything she said, but because he has been taking on the cultural issues a lot more than any of the other people, any of the candidates, at least, that we've seen on that stage. I mean, Donald Trump talks about it, but he's been out of the political scene for the past 2 years. You see what I'm saying? So like when it comes to policy, he's not implementing policy.
Right.
So she sees DeSantis actually implementing policy when it comes to these issues. And I'm sure that's why. I mean, she is rabid about this, and rightly so.
Yeah.
You know?
And she's slowly, I think, starting to get other athletes to speak out because it's going to require them to do it. I mean, it requires her voice and other voices like hers to get changes made. Thank you, Mark. Mark says, I'll send you something moist. Please don't. Please don't do that.
She loves that word, moist.
Okay, so in this is just an audio clip. You're going to just see sort of floating pictures, but this is audio clip of his response to the switch that this congressperson made from Trump to supporting DeSantis, and whether, what his thoughts are on the whole McEnany thing. Here it goes.
The Journal broke the story of a state rep who had endorsed Trump at his big event in April, was up on stage with him. Today he said, I'm out. And he's out for an interesting reason. I want to ask you about it. He's out because of the way President Trump treated Kayleigh McEnany, who's now on Fox. She was a spokesperson for a year, and he really trashed her. And there's been a lot of buzz in the MAGA community here in New Hampshire, people saying, come on, man, we're on your team. We're trying to be loyal. Where does loyalty fit in your pantheon of virtues in politics? How important is loyalty to you? And also, do you have a comment on picking up an endorsement today because Representative Spillane jumped over to back you?
Sure. Well, a couple of things real quick. First, saying that Cuomo's New York was better than our free Florida is insane. And we know 95% of Republicans in this country would have rather been in Florida. And we saw how people voted with their feet and fled the lockdown jurisdictions of Florida. So for him to say that is crazy, but I think it's an indication that he actually believes the lockdowns worked and he would double down on what he did in March of 2020. I think he needs to admit those policies were flawed and he would not have done that again. I don't think he's willing to do that. Second, Kayleigh McEnany look, Donald Trump had, even his greatest supporters acknowledge, he had a tough time picking good people. He had a lot of terrible personnel decisions, people like Jerome Adams, his Surgeon General. Obviously, he elevated Fauci to lead the task force.
Are you saying Anthony Scaramucci wasn't a winning pick? Is that what you're saying?
There you go. So we know that there was a tough record, but Kayleigh was one of the greatest selections. She did a fantastic job, and her family's from Florida. She's from Florida. So, we were very proud to see her up there. It's funny because, she's obviously, she's younger, she's attractive, blonde, so people think, she's going to be she's a Harvard-trained lawyer. She's an absolute killer, and she ate the press alive. And so for him to be attacking her, I thought that was really, really bad, and it's not something that I think is good. But here's the thing. I think the voters in New Hampshire, just from the ones I talked to, and in Iowa, they don't like this pettiness. They don't like the name calling. They don't like all that. We've got big issues to deal with, and we should be focusing on Joe Biden and his failures. That's what I'm doing. I'm not out there shooting at other Republicans unprovoked. And so I think that's what we need to do. And in terms of the rep that came over, we appreciate that. Obviously, I agree with that assessment.
I hear what he's saying. I think a lot of people agree with the whole pettiness thing. We saw it in the last election. Now you see it in every primary, where the Republicans are going to go after one another. But I totally hear him on that. I think people are just growing very weary of that. But then there are the diehards who are like, it's his turn. it's his turn. He's got to get in no matter what, because he was slighted. And so this is like revenge,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those people will not change their mind. I mean, they are 100% all in.
Because they feel like they've been slighted too. Because it goes
Right.
back to the whole,
which I
Trump
get.
said. I totally get too, because, Trump used to say it, and I agree with this, where he's like, they're not coming for me, they're coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that 150%. So there are a lot of people, I just, I don't know. This is going to be very interesting to see how this pans out, because, a lot of people will say they feel one way, but then the polls will say another thing. We'll see something else with when people actually have to get up and go vote. It'll be interesting to see who the winner is. Because
it's going to be so interesting, and especially because I've got a whole montage of other candidates coming up in just a little bit, and man, we've got some really fantastic people running is the thing. So it's just going to be tough. Now, one of the things that we talked about last week was the fact that it stands to reason that Trump's biggest concern about the 2024 election shouldn't really even be DeSantis. It should be how the election works itself, like how we actually go through the election process and trust the election process because of all the shenanigans from last time. And, and one of the points that we made is, gosh, it would be nice for him to actually address that. That should be top of mind if he does feel slighted, and clearly he does. Why isn't he talking about all the things that he would do in order to ensure a fair election? Right. And so it was interesting because it is something that DeSantis is talking about. He talked about that this weekend.
We have enacted strong protections for election integrity. We weren't a model of that 25 years ago in Florida, as you know, but now we've done a lot. We've banned ballot harvesting. We've banned Zuckerbucks. We have voter ID, not just for the voting booth, but also if you request an absentee ballot. But here's what we have to do. Each state has different rules, and, a state like Nevada, if they have ballot harvesting, I'm going to tell you this, we're ballot harvesting there. We're going to do Zuckerbucks. We're going to do whatever we need to do to erase what the Democrats are doing. I'm not fighting with one hand tied behind my back. I'm not telling people not to vote in these things. We need to exploit whatever we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he did all that in Florida. That's awesome. He's talking about what can be done in different states, but man, I worry about so many other states in this country. And you're right. I mean, Trump should probably be talking about that more. I'm not sure why he's not. I'm not sure why.
And he supported Ronna McDaniel, like 100% was behind her, and she's been absolutely, utterly useless on this entire front.
Yeah, on a lot of fronts, on all the fronts. I mean, when it comes to our PR, everything with the RNC, we could have actually had a fresh face in there, which is what a lot of us wanted. And no, because to me, it's kind of like an extension of the deep state, right? It's like they have their own way of doing things. And it's like, we're just going to let you pretend that we're actually going to progress and, be a better RNC. That's cute that you think that. They're there, minions. Just keep giving us money. It's just another faction that is the exact same way. It's like status quo crap.
Yeah. This last clip just shows how ridiculous the media can be. And surprisingly, this is Griff Jenkins from Fox News, who's normally pretty solid, but he's describing a scene where DeSantis was, going around and getting pictures with everybody, and he's like talking to people, and he's got a baby in his arms. And so Griff Jenkins says it's clear from the images that you're about to see that DeSantis is definitely running for president because he's holding a random baby. Here it is.
You're looking live at Ron DeSantis holding a baby. You think that man's running for president? You bet he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be holding someone else's random child.
Oh my God.
That's his son.
How can you not see that? He looks just like him. That's
I know.
Crazy.
I know.
He's just holding a random baby, you guys. Just random.
No,
okay.
That's his little boy. That's his own kid.
Did you see, like, not Melania. Casey had a jacket on. It's like a leather jacket that said something about where woke goes to die. And the Daily Beast took that picture and they wrote a story. Somebody at the Daily Beast wrote a story about how Casey is the Walmart Melania. That's what that's what they're calling her. So they're already going after Casey. They just completely discounted Melania. And now they're saying that she's the Walmart Melania. What that actually that elevates Melania. You guys treated her like absolute garbage, but they're saying that she's a Walmart Melania, which I find also interesting because everybody in Florida should be offended by that. Everybody.
I mean, what does that even mean? What are
like,
they trying to say? That she's like poor? Like, what does that mean?
It's like she's cheap and trashy and she's not, I guess, as refined or great as Melania, which I find so interesting because they trashed Melania. They hated her. We talked about her ad nauseum for those 4 years because they just treated her like utter garbage. Imagine the covers of magazines that she should have been on. She was a freaking model, for crying out loud.
Oh my gosh.
And nobody ever had on. I mean, she just was never on the covers of magazines. They put Michelle Obama and Jill Biden on the cover of magazines, and Melania was never on one unless it was a conservative leaning magazine. But this is the thing. I find it really interesting. They're calling her the Walmart Melania, where it's like everybody in Florida should take offense to that. Cause it's like, what does that say about people in Florida? Does that mean, or people in the South even? Are you saying that they're cheap and that they're trashy and that they're not as good as you because you're an elitist scumbag? It's so condescending, is what.
Gosh, I mean, it just gets so ugly. And she's gorgeous. I mean, she's gorgeous and I mean smart, and she's been such a good right hand person for him.
As was Melania.
Yeah. But they're Republican, and so they just have to be trashed, and the media is going to do it. I mean, it's just disgusting.
Conservative women get treated like utter garbage. Remember that.
Newt Gingrich was on with Maria Bartiromo talking about election integrity matters, and I thought it was really interesting. I'm going to play this clip because I think you're going to find that he says what you and I have long been saying, which is, we have to overwhelm the polls.
Right.
So anybody who's like, my vote doesn't even matter because the Democrats are going to cheat, so I'm just not even going to bother. That's like the worst possible attitude. Here's Newt.
Ballot requested his name and doesn't know there's an election. He's going to vote, and we know how he's going to vote now.
Okay. Newt, are the Republicans doing enough to ensure a free and fair election in 2024?
Well, I think it's probably almost impossible under current law to ensure an accurate election. And I think the only Republican strategy in the long run is to pick issues and win by margins so big that they can't steal it. If you have a very close election, Democrats have passion for stealing them. And you look at the way they've used bundling. As Robert just pointed out, when you have the local union, which takes care of people in a nursing home, going in to vote the people who literally don't cognitively know what they're doing, you know that union is going to vote every single one of them for a Democrat, no matter what their personal beliefs were. And so I think these are things you got to be honest about. And we're gradually, in the Republican states, beginning to tighten up the election law. But in states dominated by Democrats, like New York, Illinois, California, you just have to assume that the machine will steal as much as it can.
Wow.
God, right. He used the word steal.
Yeah, he did.
Nice to hear it, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised he wasn't like shut down and canceled.
He didn't say eel stay. He said it.
He didn't say it in Pig Latin at all. Yeah, he said it. So I know we should all be concerned about that. But you're absolutely right. And I think we're right in telling people, get your butts off of your couch, go to the polls.
Drag 10 friends.
Yes, drag people with you. You have to do it. We have to overwhelm them. We have to show them that we're just tired of this crap. And sitting at home doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't. And it's a very defeatist attitude, and it certainly doesn't help. So yeah, I mean, there might be shenanigans, but why would we give up? Like that's crazy. I mean, you have to just do your absolute best and work the polls. I mean, volunteer to work the polls if that's something that will make you feel better about the process. Do everything that you can, because giving up is not okay. It's just simply not. No matter who your candidate is. This goes for anybody and everybody. It goes for all of us.
Yep.
Also, you guys, Maisie's got, let's see, today's Monday. Maisie still has her cone. She's busted through 2 of them. We keep having to tape them up. She's ridiculous. And so now we've got like packing tape on her second one, trying to hold it together, because Wednesday she goes to get her stitches out of her eye. And then she still has to wear the cone another 1 to 2 days after that.
Oh no.
So we're looking at maybe Friday before we can take dang cone off of her.
Cone of shame. Yeah.
But she is as ravenous as ever, you guys. And she loves this. She loves rough greens. Am I showing the whole thing? Yes.
How do you feed it to her? Are you feeding it through the cone? How are you doing? That?
Well, it's funny because she, I feed her, like there's a bowl, like her food bowl, right? She gets her regular dog food. I sprinkle some rough greens on top of it. And then I have to just sort of position her over the bowl so that she doesn't because otherwise she just can't get it. And and she's such a spaz. Like when she knows there's food, she's so like anxious and so spazzy. So I have to like position her over the bowl and then she can eat it. And this is what she loves. This is the green powder for your dogs. It's got all the probiotics and digestive enzymes and vitamins and nutrients that the dog food may be missing. And it's certainly bringing your dog food to life. So this is all about extending the life of your dog and keeping them their absolute healthiest and happiest. And the dogs love it. So like on top of all the health benefits, they actually love the taste and they get all excited when they see that green powder on top of their food. We know this firsthand. You can try it for free if you want. You can get a free Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. You would just cover the shipping. And all you have to do is visit Rough Chicks. That's RUFF, roughchicks.com. Just try it out for a week or two because there's plenty in the Jumpstart bag. There's plenty to try it. Your dogs will change. Their breath will be better. Their coats will be shinier. They'll move better. They'll have more energy. All that stuff happens. Just visit Rough Chicks, RUFF chicks.com. Okay. It's time to get into some other candidates. So a lot of, in fact, I think all of the potential GOP candidates participated in Joni Ernst's Roast and Ride or Ride and Roast or whatever it was called, the motorcycle ride. And then they all had some time on stage to make their cases to the people of Iowa.
So
Nikki Haley.
It was all the candidates except for Trump. Is that what
Trump didn't go?
Yes, Trump did not go to that.
Trump did not go. So otherwise, I'd be happy to show some clips of him speaking, but he was not there because, again, he may not be at the debates. He may not do anything because he feels like he's got a big enough lead where he just doesn't have to mess with the riffraff. I hope he changes his mind, but so far he hasn't. The other candidates, however, were great. I've got two clips of Nikki Haley to show you, and she's very easy. I know I don't want this to sound as mean as it's going to sound, but she's easily forgettable in this conversation.
Oh, totally. Well, I mean, it's of course and the media is not covering her.
Right.
Nobody's talking about her, which again is like, I'm like, what is that about? So, I mean, they'll talk about Vivek. Vivek is out there. He's on like all the shows, Tim Scott, all these other guys are getting a lot of attention. And she's just like, hello. Hey, it's me. I'm over here. I'm like, and you think that they would be profiling her more because she is a woman. Right?
Yeah. And she's just not getting a lot of attention. But I'll tell you, when she is asked questions, and it's Jake Tapper who's doing the asking in these two clips, she is phenomenal. And so the first clip is she's directly addressing something that Trump and DeSantis have both said that they are not going to even look at or touch, and that's entitlements. And so she believes that they're both being very, very disingenuous. And I can't argue with her on this. She thinks you cannot just keep kicking this can down the road. You cannot ignore the fact that that Social Security and Medicaid are going to be bankrupt within the next decade. And that means that they're not going to be available at all to people in their 20s, possibly people in their 30s, et cetera, possibly even to us.
Right.
And so she wants to address it, and good on her for being honest about it. Here's this first clip.
We can't keep kicking this can down the road. And I know that Trump and DeSantis have both said we're not going to deal with entitlement reform. Well, all you're doing is leaving it for the next president, and that's leaving a lot of Americans in trouble.
So for them to say that, DeSantis and Trump, I mean, is it even a viable option? And what would you say about the leadership of those two individuals if they say they're not going to do anything?
I think it's important to be honest with the American people. We are in this situation. Don't lie to them and say, oh, we don't have to deal with entitlement reform. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's the reality. I'm always going to tell the truth. Is it going to hurt? Yes, but for our kids, they know they're not going to get it anyway. So why not go ahead and change it for them in their 20s? Why not go and put people that are in their 60s and 70s and 80s at peace so that they know, look, you're not going to have to worry about it. But yes, we're going to go to our 20s and we're going to go tell them times have changed. I think they're not being honest with the American people.
So time for some honesty from Nikki Haley. If the retirement age is 66 or 67 right now, what are you talking about raising it to for the people in their 20s?
Well, we'd have to do the calculations. We'd have to figure out how to. I am an accountant. And And you know what accountants do? Accountants do their homework, and they make sure that when they do something, they do it right or they don't do it. So I'm not going to give you a false number.
Okay. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, it was really great. He sounded really sick too.
Yeah, he sounds like he's got a bad cold.
Sounds like crap. Yeah. So yeah, it was fantastic. The answer. Yeah. Other people should be looking to her for answers like that.
Well, and when it comes to the abortion issue, she is setting the standard. I thought she was flawless when it came to answering that particular issue, which of course is a super controversial, highly emotional topic. And other candidates have not, we've got in Florida, DeSantis passed the 6-week ban. People are super mad at him about that. Trump is just sort of dancing around it, not really addressing it in either way, just, touting the fact that he got rid of Roe v. Wade. But nobody's really talking about how it should be addressed. And so I thought she just did a masterful job at handling this question. Check this out.
All right. This is a personal issue for every woman and man in America, and it should be treated with the respect that way. So now that the unelected justices are out there and it's back in the hands of the people of the states, which is where it should be, there are some states that have become more pro-life, and I welcome that. And there's some states that have been more on the abortion side. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's what happened. The question that everybody is talking about is there a federal role for this? And I think that there is a federal role for this. But if we're going to do that, you have to be honest with the American people of what it takes to do that. In order to pass anything, you have to have a majority of the House, you have to have 60 Senate votes, and you have to have a signature of a president. We haven't had 60 pro-life senators in over 100 years. We might have 45. So if you look at it from that standpoint, don't let anyone in the media, don't let any political party tell you that a Republican president can ban abortion laws in our country, because they can't any more than a Democrat president can ban our state laws. So what can we do with consensus? That's exactly what it is. We come through with consensus and say, what can we all agree on? I think we can all agree on banning late-term abortions. I think we can all agree on encouraging adoptions and making sure those foster kids feel more love, not less. I think we can agree on doctors and nurses who don't believe in abortion shouldn't have to perform them. I think we can agree on the fact that contraception should be accessible. And I think we can all come together and say any woman that has an abortion shouldn't be jailed or given the death penalty. Can't we start there? Can't we start there? Because what...
He said, look at my socks.
It's fantastic. It was a fantastic answer.
Right?
Oh
I just thought it was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
It was so comprehensive. She didn't dance around anything. She just got right to the issues. And it was fantastic. That was everything it should have been. Mm-hmm.
And she's so comfortable. I mean, there's not a shred of nerve. You know what I mean? There's no nerves. She's got command of that stage. And she sounds extraordinarily competent. And so I think she's going to be a force. I think the more attention she gets, I think people are going to be looking at her.
Yeah, she's no longer just kicking sideways. You know what I mean? She's definitely up there doing her thing, which is, which obviously we knew she was capable of doing and being. And so I really like her. And so again, we need to see these people in a debate. See them on a debate stage, see how well they do with one another. All of them. Yeah.
Yep. Except now, I mean, we may get to the point where we've got a kids table again at the debate. I don't know. There's so many people. I don't know how that's going to work. Now we've got Tim Scott. Tim Scott was also at the ride, and he had some time on stage, and he has a big plan for today that everybody needs to know about. Take a listen.
Penalty. Can't we start there? Can't we start there? Because what?
He said, look at my socks. He pulled his pants up, and he was wearing my socks today. So let's give it up for Chuck Grassley with good taste in socks. Now, my socks said hogwash on them. When I think about hogwash, it just makes me think about The View. Anybody watch The View on TV?
Oh my God.
Good. I am in the right place. I'm going on The View on Monday.
Cannot believe that.
Because I think it's time for a conservative with a backbone to look those ladies in the eyes and say, you do not have to be an exception to succeed in America. You can be the rule and succeed in America. You see, I scare the dickens out of the radical left and Joe Biden. The proof of my life destroys their lies.
He's
I
right.
love that.
He's absolutely right. I cannot wait for it, and I can't wait for him to go toe-to-toe with Sonny.
Oh, God,
And
I cannot
Whoopi.
wait either.
Yeah, because I mean, they have treated him like they've treated him like crap too. This is what they do. They've just wrung him in like, oh my God, dry in the media.
Yeah.
They treated him like garbage. So I can't wait for him to go on there and just be his awesome, positive, happy self and put them in their places. It's going to be fantastic.
He's such a happy, sunny guy.
He
you
is.
know, I
So
just love
positive.
him.
I love that too. I love seeing that positivity, you know, because he is a success story and he should be the norm. He is the norm, you know, for at least all of us who believe in the American dream. He's the norm. So
Vivek also making the rounds. He was on this week, and he is talking to Martha Raddatz about his poll numbers. Obviously, everybody's poll numbers, aside from DeSantis and Trump, who are at the top, and DeSantis is a ways away from Trump. Everybody else is just sort of hovering in the single digits. And so they've asked him, well, how are you gonna get more people to come over to your side? And here's how he answered.
Multimillionaire and political newcomer Vivek Ramaswamy, welcome to This Week. It's great to have you here, right back from Iowa. You know, it's early. We know where you are in those polls, way, way down there. Things can change, but you are up against a former president who is polling over 50%, a slew of other candidates. What's your path to the nomination?
First of all, we've actually studied this. It's good to see, Martha. As in June of 2015, Donald Trump was polling at 4% in eighth place. I'm happy to say that we're ahead of that, and I think we're going to take that same trajectory. I'm the outsider in this race. I think you get to be an outsider once. I'm the first millennial ever to run for the GOP nomination for U.S. president.
Oh, cool.
And I'm actually leading us to something. Too long, many other conservatives have been running from something. I'm running to something, what it actually means to be an American. I'm an America First conservative, but I believe that to put America first, we need to rediscover what America is. And I'm seeing the base across this country hungry for that message, and that's how we're going to win.
And speaking of that base, you would have to convince hardcore Trump voters to come over to you. How do you do that? How do you walk that fine line?
Well, I'm very clear with audiences. I said this to audiences in Iowa just this last week. America First does not belong to Trump. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the people of this country. And I think we take that agenda even further if we're doing it based on first principles and moral authority, as Reagan did, rather than on vengeance and grievance. And that's what I'm bringing to this race.
The RNC announced a requirement.
I really like him.
See, we have so many good people.
I know. I love that he would dismantle the Department of Education when he first got. I mean, there's so many things about him that I really, really like, and I love his enthusiasm. A lot like Tim Scott. I also want to point out that on the left, they have 3 white people running, two white dudes. Look at our side, and they actually have the audacity to call us like not diverse and racist and all of the whatever ists and the obes and whatever they want to call us. They have 3 white people on their side running. So where's the diversity, DNC? Where is it?
Yeah. Well, and speaking of one of those people, RFK Jr. Also making the rounds. People are listen. Aside from the Twitter Spaces that he's going to be on today at 2:00 Eastern, he's also making the rounds. And he's talking about wanting to debate. I think he should get to a chance to debate Biden. I doubt it'll happen, but it absolutely should happen. And so here he is talking about what he would like to ask on the debate stage.
And you, if you were to debate, what would that look like?
That's something that I would like to say.
I'd like to see it too.
I'd like to explain. I'd like either President Biden or President Trump explain the lockdowns to us. That was a $16 trillion mistake. We shifted $4 trillion in wealth from the middle class in this country to the super rich, this new aristocracy of billionaires. The lockdowns created a billionaire a day, 500 new billionaires, and the people who came into the lockdown with $1 billion increased their wealth by 30%. We had, 41% of black-owned businesses will never reopen. Some of those businesses had 2 or 3 generations of sweat equity, of currency in them. We closed 3.3 million businesses without due process, without just compensation. The White House, both White Houses were collaborating with Amazon and with the other social media sites to shut down their competitors. Amazon got to shut down 3.3 million competitors, and we got a 2-year less than the entire public in how to, do our shopping on Amazon. And those businesses, those retail businesses, which are the heart and soul of the middle class and our democracy, are now shut down.
God, I mean, the numbers, you cannot, what are you going to say?
You have frozen. Come back. Is she frozen for everybody? Is it just me? Am I frozen? What's happening? Is she frozen? Is it everybody? Am I frozen? What's happening? She is completely frozen. Somebody tell me if it's just me or if I'm frozen. Who's frozen though? It's her, right? Daisy. Okay, it's just her. Maybe get out and get back in because you're completely frozen. You're frozen in time. She is frozenified. Let's see if we can get. Oh, now there's 2 of you. Okay, hang on.
There's 2 of me? That's so weird.
Can you see both of you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get rid of your other one.
Thank you. I don't know what happened.
So
like everything just went black for a second.
Yeah, you just froze.
Anyways, yeah. And I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, you guys.
I lost it for you.
Yeah, but I want him to debate. I hate to say this, but he makes sense with a lot of stuff. And and when I say a lot of stuff, I'm talking about the COVID stuff. When it comes to the COVID just debacle that we saw over the past, whatever. When he says 3.3 million businesses were shut down without due process, I feel like we all deserve answers about that. Somebody needs to be held responsible for that. Someone. And why has Fauci? Somebody needs to be held. And nobody has. And so there are a lot of us out here that are angry about that because we know that what they are capable of and what we saw them doing to the American people. And granted, a lot of the American people were like, oh yeah, we're sheep. We're going to go ahead and do exactly what you say. But they were forced to do these things. And it's not okay what the government did to us as American people. So I hope that more Republican candidates start talking about this stuff too, because that is like what we're supposed to stand for as conservatives, like less government. Get out of my face. Don't tell me to shut down,
I mean, I hope we hear more from him, but I'm just looking at a lot of the comments. There's people that are like, there's no way that he's going to get very far with that voice. And remember, people got so mad at me when I made that suggestion a couple weeks ago that I think that will be a detriment to him. I'm not saying he can help it. I mean, I feel for the guy, right? I don't want him to have this medical issue that makes his voice so hard to listen to, but it is hard to listen to. And it's not a superficial thing. It's something that affects people and their decisions, like it or not, right or wrong. It just is. And so that part sucks because he does have really important things to say.
Yeah.
And so I hope people will look past it and give him a chance and listen and allow him to debate Joe Biden. But that's going to be up to the DNC, and I don't think they're going to let him.
And if they don't, that's going to look really bad. It's going to look really, really bad for the DNC.
Yeah, that's true.
They are squelching a candidate who is gaining in popularity. People really like him on that side. And he's gaining. So for them to go, no, he's not the establishment pick. We're going to go ahead and squelch him. That's not going to fare well for them, especially when we have 15,000 people on our side.
Right. Meanwhile, Joe Biden appointing just awful, terrible people left and right to all parts of his government. The latest, because you probably remember that Rochelle Walensky has left her position as the CDC director. So they've hired a new CDC director. Her name, what is it? It's Mandy Cohen. And she's a physician. She's most recently been like the Health and Human Services Secretary in North Carolina. She is an idiot. And there's no bigger proof than the first clip I'm going to show you where she's talked about, and I don't know when this is from. It's apparently during kind of the height of COVID, right? And so she's talking about how she addresses in her state whatever the next measures are that the public is supposed to pay attention to in order to fight off COVID. And it's just an embarrassment, you guys. She's like a teenage girl. It's just, listen,
I would call, probably the person I called most was the Secretary of Health and Human Services in Massachusetts. She worked for a Republican governor just to, but you know, when she was like, "Are you going to let them have professional football?" And I was like, "Nope." And she's like, "Okay, neither are we." You know, it was like conversations like that. So, or I'd be like, "So when are you going to think about lightening up a mess?" They're like, "Next Monday." I'm like, "Okay, next Monday."
That's how
God.
she made decisions.
I cannot with this woman. Are we gonna and that phrasing? Are we gonna let you do XYZ? Are we gonna let you have football? Really? This is what our government thinks of us, you guys. Like we are in charge of them. How many times I feel like it's like people have lost sight of that so hard in this country. They think these people actually rule them. It's like you don't understand civics. You don't understand our Constitution. You don't understand the foundation of this country. They do not rule us. We are supposed to rule them. And that phrasing alone just,
I know.
That makes my fist form. You don't
And
rule
she,
us.
of course, she was very, very much behind all of the lockdown, all of the stringent measures, behind all of it. Here's another example of just the absolute hypocrisy of the people in power. So what you're going to see is her appearing out of that doorway on the right-hand side of your screen. She's, about to give some sort of a talk or be a part of some sort of a conference, news conference or press panel or whatever. And this is during the time where everybody is supposed to be masked up. You can see the security guard on the right-hand side of your screen. He is masked up. She doesn't have a mask on, has a mask with her, quickly realizes, oh shit, I'm supposed to look like I wear masks, puts it on, only to then immediately take it off as soon as she gets to the chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Look at this. Oh, where's my mask? Oh, I'm putting it on.
Oh my
and now
God.
I'm taking it off. I mean, what an absolute...
Yeah,
it's
total
just
theater.
ridiculous.
It was all theater. And you know what? They all did it. They all did this bullshit theater stuff with the masks and everything else. And they all did the things. They did whatever they wanted to do. And then she has the audacity to get on a stage and say, I will, whether I'm going to let you do something or let you do something else.
Yeah.
Like this is how they feel. And I don't worry about it, but I have this feeling in the back of my head that another pandemic is going to happen. And, at some point, because they've done this once, they wanted to see what we would do as a country. And a lot of people were sheep. I have people in my family that were total sheep, friends that I saw do what I could not believe that they were doing, when this administration or the past administration said, shut down or do this or do that. And they're like, yes, sir. May I have another? May I have another? It's going to be interesting to see when this happens again, if and when a pandemic happens again, what the American people are willing to do and not willing to do when the government tells them to do something.
And especially when members of the government look like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but she's wearing a mask with Fauci's face on it. So we already know what kind of person Joe Biden has installed as our new CDC director. I have zero confidence that in the face of another pandemic, we would be any better off with her as the leader of the CDC.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I mean, it's bad, you guys. And does anybody remember, like, if you watch anything from the 80s when Fauci was in charge then, because he's 1,000 years old and he's been in office forever, just like a lot of these yahoos that don't have term limits. They hated him. The gay community hated him. They were like, fire Fauci because of all the HIV drug stuff. I mean, this is the thing. People forget. They forget. They don't do their homework. They just see what the media feeds to them. And they take that and they go, oh yeah, everything's great. Everything's fine. Research, be a critical thinker. Think for yourself. And furthermore, this government should not be in charge of us. That's not how this works. That's how any of this is supposed to work. It's crazy.
Chuck Todd from Meet the Press made a big announcement that his time on Meet the Press is coming to a close at the end of the summer. He is still going to remain employed by NBC. Apparently, he's going to be doing things like docu-series and documentaries and docudramas and docu-things because I guess that's where his interest lies. And he has promised his family that he would work fewer hours than he has been working during his time on Meet the Press. But in a long drawn out, I've just been so honored to be here, blah. He also makes this point that is so utterly tone deaf and not at all showing any level of self-awareness. He wants to talk about the station's and the show's integrity. Listen to this junk.
Feeling concerned about this moment in history, but reassured by the standards we've set here. We didn't tolerate propagandists, and this network and program never will. But it doesn't mean sticking your head in the sand either. If you ignore reality, you'll miss the biggest story. Being a real political journalist isn't about building a brand. It's about reporting what's happening and explaining why it's happening and letting the public absorb the facts. If you do this job seeking popularity, you are doing this job incorrectly. I take the attacks from partisans as compliments, and I take the compliments from partisans with a grain of salt. The goal of this and every Meet the Press episode is to do all of the following in one informative hour. Make you mad, make you think, shake your head in disapproval, and nod your head in approval. If you do all of that in 1 hour of this show, we've done our job.
What a twerp. The guy, he's just so, God, he's so ridiculous. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Like there's such a high standard of journalism over there. Give me a break. I
Yeah,
mean,
we don't allow propaganda on this station. Okay.
he actually believes that garbage. I think he does. I think a lot of these people actually believe that they're doing something good, that they're actual journalists. This is what
Yeah, they do. Remember what's it, the thumb? The
Brent
potato.
Stelter.
Yeah,
Brent
Stelter. He
Stelter.
was always I wonder what he's doing now. I completely forgot about him until just this moment.
like panels for environmental change.
But he was
climate
always
stuff.
so sure that like he was performing the role of a journalist above board.
It's nuts. This is the thing. And I think a lot of these kids who are going through journalism school now are being taught an entirely different journalism than we were 30, 40 years ago. It's totally different now. It's all activism. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, before we get to whack, I have a nice little trio of fun clips for you related to Pride and the month of June that they've completely stolen from me. It's my birthday month. It's not supposed to be about Pride. It's a bunch of crap. This first clip, I don't know when this is from. I don't think it's terribly long ago. But on a Dr. Phil episode, he had on several folks from the trans community, the most radical of the activists. And then he had a 5th grade teacher on who was just so common sense and so just politely informing people of reality that I just loved it. I thought it needed to be shared. We're going to start with that. Then we're also going to play a clip of Jenna Jameson's now wife, because I don't know if you guys heard that Jenna Jameson, former porn star, has been through some relationships, several marriages with several men. And now she is married to a lesbian by the name of Jessie Lawless, who I think you guys are really going to like when you hear this clip from her. And then I have, just for fun, a nice cap off of just what society looks like today from the Family Guy. So that's what you're about to see right now.
Younger boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons. If they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if you
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of people
They're women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man. You can pretend to be a man, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Live your life and tell me what a man is.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an example when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely
They
different
are
things.
completely
different.
Completely different words.
Sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up. People who hate the truth, are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion. You disagree, I disagree with you, and so you call it hate. But there's no hate in my heart at all. So that's
You
wrong.
are being hateful when you tell somebody that identifies as a man that they're not a man.
That's not hateful. That's a fact.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, this is the thing, because he is absolutely 150% correct. By the way, that's on our Instagram page too. You guys should check out our Instagram. But it's Ray is all of us. Ray is like, this has been, it's like a runaway train. The craziness, the batshittery that has just like engulfed this country and the world, really a lot of countries across the world. But this is the crazy thing is like, if you don't buy into it, if you don't buy into the lie, then you are hateful. And we're not hateful. I mean, we don't hate trans people. If you want to identify something else, that's why I loved how calm and like he was like, no, I'm not hateful. But did you see how that woman with the gray hair, she was like, no, that is hateful. That is. No, just because you say something does not make it true.
Right.
Just because you feel something does not make it true. And I think that's the bottom line of all this. They're all about feelings, all about their feelings on that side of the aisle. Yeah. And then they're like, then they tell us to follow the science during COVID. I mean, it's like they don't want to pay attention to science in regular life, but then they want us to pay attention to science seriously? Like these people are out of their minds.
Okay, so here is Jessie Lawless. Jessie, again, she is now the wife of Jenna Jameson, and she's got something to say about all this pride stuff, like all the rainbows everywhere. I mean, she is a lesbian woman, and she just doesn't see a need for it. Here she is explaining.
Hey, Pumpkin, it's Pride Month. Let's talk about it. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what the fuck y'all are so oppressed about. I don't know what everybody's crying about. I don't know why everyone's so upset. I just don't feel oppressed. I don't remember the last time somebody had something bad to say about me because of my sexual preference, maybe because I don't talk about it. If you haven't noticed, I am a homosexual. I don't feel like I need any rainbow flags, signs, or signals to alert those around me that I am a homosexual. See, I don't make my sexuality part of my personality. As a matter of fact, I like to keep the two completely fucking separate. There's a difference. I depend on my personality to get me places in life, and I don't need anybody to feel bad for me because I eat pussy. I mean, for fuck's sake, we lit up the White House with rainbow colors back when Obama was in office. What more do we need? We can get married. I mean, I see more rainbow flags available for purchase than the red, white, and blue ones that represent our fucking country, but that's none of my business. I did sign up to die for this motherfucker, so it might be my business. See, I'm 40 years old, baby. I actually got discriminated against when I came out of the closet back in 1997. Was that 98? I don't know. I'm old. I forget shit. Nobody baked me a cake. Nobody threw me a party, and nobody bought me anything with a rainbow on it when I came out of the closet. It was quite the opposite, actually. That shit built character and showed me who the real ones were, and it showed me who the fake ones were. Here's my opinion. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but I think a lot of you guys are manifesting this shit. Wake up in the morning, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so gay, and everyone around me is gonna hate my gayness, and somebody's gonna be mean to me, and then somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so fucking oppressed. See, I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, I'm just another regular fucking human, and I didn't go do regular human shit. None of it involves rainbow flags. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is my pride flag's still red, white, and blue. You can unfollow me if you want to. I don't fucking care. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
The end is my favorite.
I know.
Oh my God.
You probably should have said hide your kids, hide your wives with the language because she is language. But man, I agree with everything that she says. I love how she's like, your sexuality is not your personality. We have said that for years.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that these people want their entire personality, their entire being, everything about their identity to be wrapped up in who they sleep with? What is that? You shouldn't have a sense you shouldn't have a sense of pride about that. It's just part of who you are. Like, get over it. Go on with your day. We're all Americans. Shut up. That's why I love that whole clip. I just loved it.
I know.
And
She's fabulous.
she is not the only one. You know that there are gays and lesbians out there right now who are so sick of this movement.
Some of them are in our insiders group and our supporters group.
There
I mean, we know and love some of these people.
Right.
So and they are sick of it too. And I get it.
Yeah, they're tired of it. When you start shoving it down kids' throats in schools and like, why does it have to be everywhere? Why does it? Just live your lives
for the whole month.
Yes.
We get Memorial Day.
Right.
And we have a whole freaking Pride Month. There's something seriously wrong with that.
Absolutely something wrong with it. I mean, it's crazy. This is what we're doing because of your sexuality. This is like, check yourself.
I love at the end where she was just like, red, white, and blue. That's my flag. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Right. True.
I just love her.
And you know what else? I think also, just to point out, I think she's kind of close to being a Gen Xer too. I think a lot of the older gay people, when I say older, she's not old, but she's 40. So a lot of the older gay people are like, this is so dumb. What are these young people doing? They're not oppressed. We are the ones who paved the way for them, which is precisely what she said. And so why are they acting like they're so miserable and oppressed? Like, screw you. You guys have it pretty easy because if anything, they were like treated not so well back in the day. You know, they were kind of like, people were like, we're going to tread lightly with that. But the kids nowadays who are all like gay, transgender, they're celebrated. It's totally different than it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke, thank you. Luke says, I am sick of it as a gay Black man. I am not oppressed or targeted. I get more respect from conservatives than I ever have the gays. See, Luke knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, Luke.
Up top.
I love that. Yes, totally. Totally.
Okay, so this last clip before we get to whack is just this. It's like literally 8 seconds long. It's nothing to it, but it's Family Guy. And it just shows the dumbness of our culture now in the best way. I love this so much.
Oh, that girl's hot.
That's a guy.
That other guy's handsome.
That's a girl.
That cat is cute.
That's a dog.
What is everything?
So true.
Oh like, gosh. What is everything?
Yeah,
what is it?
It's crazy. Everybody just stop. Like, I want to get off the train. There are days where I'm just like, oh my God. And then you walk down the street and you see people and you're like, and I'll look at my husband. I'm like, was that a dude or a, he's like, I don't know. I give up. I just give up. He's like, I can't tell anymore. I just, whatever.
I just love that where he's just like, but what is everything?
We don't know. We don't know. This is our world now because we've allowed it.
Yeah,
you know, we've allowed them to be so loud and people don't push back because they're so afraid. It's all fear. You know, I put up a Bill Maher clip on our Instagram page yesterday and he was talking to Pierce Morgan about this whole movement and how people just sit back and they accept the lies because they're so afraid to say that's a lie.
Yeah.
Like, you're full of shit. I'm not gonna buy into this.
You're just making up words like the 5th grade teacher said. Yeah.
It's like, and this is the thing. Too many conservatives are so polite, and I get it because we're good people. We're polite, and I understand. But I think in doing that, we've allowed it's permeated our culture in such a way where it's like it's hard now to put that toothpaste back in the tube. Like it's like a. Like I said, like a vine last week, and you said it's like an infection. That's exactly what this is, and we've let it run rampant.
What is your whack today?
Okay, my whack today is, in case everybody didn't know, the California Senate on Tuesday voted to pay $300 weekly to unemployed illegal immigrants. Yeah, so illegals are going to get $300 a week from taxpayers. Okay, now this is
just for spending money, just for a little,
just for a little something. You know, since they came here illegally and they broke the law, we figured we would reward them with $1,200 a month. You know, why would you not do that, right? So they are facing a $31.5 billion deficit in California, and they did this. So it's Senate Bill 227. A bunch of Democrats, they're all excited about this. I mean, it's just nuts. After all the COVID stuff, after everything, this is what they're doing. I mean,
unreal.
And people wonder why people are just fleeing California. And we're full here in Texas. We're full. Okay. God, I'm tired.
Oh my
God. Coming here to flee California. Quit bringing your politics. We're full.
Yeah, that is whack. That is completely whack. Barb, thank you. Barb Hunt says, Mock, you need to brag on your son. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, can I for a second brag on him?
You can.
Okay, you guys. So Saturday, the day after surgery, I was like, I don't care how fat my face is, what a moon face I am going to the state lacrosse championship game. There's no way I'm going to miss it. It was between Hamilton Southeastern, which is Carmel's biggest rival, my kids' school's biggest rival. There's just been, it's a rival, right? And they won the championship game. And then my boy was voted most valuable player on offense of the game. And I could not be more full of pride.
I saw the video of Ron, your husband, just beaming. He was so excited about it. I mean,
so proud. I was so glad to not have to miss it. Oh my God. I was so glad I was there. It was a beautiful day and just perfect in every way. And I Wow, that was a
Good
moment.
good for Jackson. Good for him.
It was really,
Yeah.
really good. Really,
That's
really
awesome.
good. Thank
So
you
great.
for indulging me and saying that I should brag on him. I'm so glad you said that because he does need to get bragged on because that was really, really great.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Okay, it's time for some My Pillow talks, and there is still a buy one get one special when you use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/chicks to get yourself the My Pillow 2.0 version. No matter what size you pick, you buy one, you're going to get the other for absolutely free, and you can still get huge discounts on all of their other cool stuff like flip-flops. You want comfortable flip-flops?
They're the best. I have
Go
white
to
and black. I have both.
mypillow.com/chick.
Yeah, both black and white. They go with everything. Seriously, I wear them every day.
Oh my God, they're so
great.
awesome. You mentioned Piers Morgan just a few moments ago, and I have a fantastic clip from Piers Morgan, which relates to something that we did one of our deep dives on just recently about Gen X and our resilience, the resilience of Gen X. And he hits the nail on the head in this clip. I think you guys are going to love it.
I think this generation in particular has lost the ability to look at mental strength and resilience and triumph over adversity and being tough in difficult times as badges of honor. They've almost become badges of shame, where people feel like it's wrong to have a stiff upper lip, to be strong-minded, to be resilient, to be tough under pressure. I think we should separate mental health from mental illness. I don't think mental health is an issue to even be debated particularly. We all have mental health, but if you have a mental illness, you need help, you need treatment. Right now, people are, it seems to me, looking at normal life stuff as some form of mental illness.
Yes.
And anxiety is exploding. People saying they're mentally sick, the incidence of that is exploding. How can that be happening when it's all we're talking about 24/7? I think we're going about it the wrong way. And I think what we're losing in this debate is a celebration of resilience and mental strength. I really believe that. And I think schools should have more people in there teaching kids how to be tougher, about how to deal with normal life stuff. And I'm not talking about people who have clinical depression or suicidal tendencies or any of those things. Those are serious mental illnesses. I'm talking about people who are thinking that normal stuff that's happening in my life, which we all have to go through, grief when you lose a loved one, trouble at work, trouble with relationships, whatever it may be, you've got to learn to be more resilient about these things because that is life. Life, as Rocky Balboa said, it's not a bed of roses. Life is tough. Look, it's not how many times you can hit, it's how many times you can get hit, get knocked down, and get back up and keep moving forward. That is what life's about. And I don't think we spend enough time helping people to be mentally strong and resilient. We're spending too much time encouraging a kind of wallowing in self-pity and weakness. And it is, I'm afraid, it's not working. Demonstrably not working.
He's absolutely right. Because everybody's a victim now, especially that generation. And they want to label it. You know, it's like you see all around. It's like they want to put a label on whatever it is they're feeling. Which, okay, anxiety. Well, who hasn't felt anxiety? Who hasn't felt sad like once in a while? Like and again, like you have to preamble that with, I'm not talking about people who have clinical depression, blah blah blah. I'm not.
Right.
But I mean, like generally, just like that generation or the generations after us, they have not handled life as well as the previous generations. And he has a wonderful point here. Like, why is that? We're the problem. We're enabling that. We're enabling them to feel victimized is what we're doing. And so they feed off of that. And they're like, oh God, woe is me. I'm so sorry. You know, it even goes back to the whole Jessie Lawless thing where she said that. You manifest it. And that's what we're doing in this country is they're manifesting it, as hippie as that sounds.
It's true. And the quicker they can get themselves a label, the quicker they can live and wallow, like he said, in their own victimhood. Oh, I have clinical anxiety. And so I need this medication and that medication and woe is me. Instead of just toughening up, get your chin up and your boobs out and shut up already.
Exactly.
Stop complaining. You're just dealing with life stuff. And that's all it is. And we all have to go through it.
Yeah, life's
Crying
a
out
bitch.
loud.
Life's a bitch. Get over it. It's like we all had to deal. Everybody deals with life stuff. Everybody. There's not one single person that doesn't. You know, I can't think of one except for maybe Paris Hilton or somebody. But I mean, it's like, but this is the thing. We all deal with it. And so get up and move on. Good Lord.
I love that clip.
Yeah.
Here is a clip from a woman who is talking to small-breasted women who may want larger breasts. She is a woman who is well endowed, and she would like to send a message to those of us who aren't that we don't want to be. And here's why.
Oh, you do? You do? You got a backpack? Fill it with bricks, wear it on your front, and run for the bus, then come back here and tell me you want some titties. You like wearing tank tops to sleep? You like how when you wake up in the morning, your titties are in the shirt where you left them? I wear a tank top to sleep. I wake up to my titty on the pillow next to me asking what's for breakfast. I haven't seen my belly button since I was 13. My little bralette. I love my cute little lacy bralette. Get ready for a bra strap so wide you can land a plane on it. Indestructible, military grade, 97 clasps. You like trampolines? Downward dog? Jumping for joy? Not anymore. You like when people look you in the eyes when they're talking to you? Yeah. Say goodbye to all that. Especially in the summer. My backache and my bra too tight was a prophecy. Was a warning. One time, I was watching something on my laptop, and I leaned forward to grab some juice, and when I leaned back and looked at the screen, my boobs had quit my job, texted my ex, and started nuclear war with Russia. Now, you gotta strap those bad boys down every time you leave the house, lest you become a stumbling block to your brothers in Christ at the Stop and Shop. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
It doesn't really sound fun at all.
It doesn't.
So.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my A team. That's what I'm doing.
We have a teacher. This is I think a preschool teacher who is it's comedy. Just watch. Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Ms. Dare K. I am a teacher, #first responder. I identify as kink forward, two-spirit, triple distilled, queer adjacent, Mexican wrestler woman. I do come to the classroom like this because this is who I am. And since I do teach in California, it is against the law to tell me I cannot come to the classroom as my truth, because not letting me teach in my truth would be super duper violent, ultra mega semi-fascist racist. This is a kink-safe classroom. It's also a COVID-safe classroom because I just got my 12th booster. And by the way, to all you Tucker Carlson fans, I am not forcing the kids to be into kink, okay? I'm just letting them know it's okay because life is about choice. And we don't do this toxic male fixed gender. Every day I let the kids come in and they pick their own gender. Now, I do teach preschoolers, so they don't really like talk or anything yet, so they can't really say the words, but they can point to it, or maybe if they like spit up or poop near a gender, I'll know they're telling me that's who they feel like they are that day. Like if a kid comes into the classroom barking, girl, I am gonna put her on a leash and let her lick me all day, because not doing that is literally abuse and violence. Okay, I have to go. I'm taking the kids to see a gender reassignment surgery before we go burn down a local church. Yeah.
My God, that was fantastic. That is California to a T. There it is right there. The clothespins on the nipples.
I know. I don't know how he did that without just absolute excruciating pain.
No, right. It's so great.
Remember how long I was playing videos from the son of Julie Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall, not realizing that was their son?
Yes.
Well, I haven't. He's so awkward in that like hilarious, perfect way. And so here he is. He is playing a guy with a really cool girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah, we actually just chose our hall passes. It was super fun. Like one person we could sleep with if we ever saw them. I chose Scarlett Johansson. Like, how could you not? You know, she's so hot. She chose her yoga instructor, Dylan. What?
He's like, what?
What's wrong with that? Is there anything
bad?
wrong with that?
Oh my God. This rooster has a voice issue.
Everybody's laughing at him.
I don't know why he sounds like that.
I don't either. Roosters are useless, though, just so we all know.
Also, this guy had an encounter with a raccoon.
Where are you going? Why are you approaching me? Can you not? Sir, can I? What the fuck? What the fuck?
He's like, tag, you're it. And then he goes back to all of his little raccoon friends. He's like, I did it, you guys, I did it. It was like a gang initiation. It was a raccoon gang initiation is what that was.
All you have to do is touch his boot. That's all you have to do.
Boot. I did it, you guys. Jerry, I did it. Oh my God, it's so great.
So cute. This is a group of labs who has learned to say grace before they dig in. And it's so just precious amount of labs. Look at this.
We say, Dear Jesus, thank you for this great day and great outdoors, and thank you for keeping us safe. May we all have a great trip, good hunt tomorrow, and enjoy the meal tonight. And thank you for your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Oh my gosh.
Amen.
How much do you love them?
They're such good dogs. I mean, they're just the best dogs.
Oh my gosh. My dog would be wrecking everything. He'd be crashing through there with his giant balls. Yeah, that would be
Oh my gosh.
my dogs.
Anyway.
Yeah, you guys. Okay. Everybody bring it in. Everybody bring it in.
Speaking
Mom,
of dogs,
you made it through.
I got my
You
dog.
made it. You made it through. You
I
did
did. I'm
great.
sorry. I look so weird. I hope this doesn't last all week. I hope my swelling goes down before the week is out because I'm tired of being a moon face.
I think he's
tired
coming
of
over.
it.
Come here. Come over here. Come over here and say hi to everybody so you can say goodbye to all the fine people. Say, can you? There's a.
Come here.
Come over here. No, come over here. Come over here.
There.
Face in there.
Yes, there it is.
Mwah. There it is. There it is right there, you guys. All right. Everybody, have the best Monday of your lives, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.